Jellyfish, it's Tracy, and today I'm going to be doing a video talking about art from Magic the Gathering. Ooh, you guys are a little crooked. I am a huge appreciator of art, and a lot of times I'm like, I really wish I could just run cards based on their sole like aesthetic, because I just love the way some cards look, and I love when a card matches like my love for it, which I'm going to talk about when I go through some of these. Like, I really love what the card does, but I also just really love the art as well. But then there's some cards that I just solely appreciate for the aesthetic, for how it looks, rather than what the card actually does. And I have to say, I tried to include a couple of different types of images in this first part, and I'd like to do it with the others, but something I tend to find myself gravitating towards is I really love the way angels look. Teresa Nielsen and Rebecca Guire are like two of my favorite artists in Magic in general. And so I tried to include like a wide range of stuff, but you're gonna notice I have a lot of like female-led art. Like, there's a lot of beautiful like angel, like that's just what I tend to gravitate towards. But there's a couple that obviously that you'll see that aren't that. But all right, the first card I want to talk about is when I first thought of this video and like what I was going to talk about. The first card that came to mind of card art I love is Gift of Orzhova. Oh, can we just take a minute? I just think, is this, no, this is not Teresa Nielsen. This is, Johannes Voss. Oh, I'm an old person. Johannes Voss, yeah. Really love this art. It's very intricate. I think the wings are just really beautiful. I really love art that has, like, purple in it. Purple is my favorite color, and I just think it's stunning. I just think this art is absolutely stunning. I've had actually this art as like my background before on my laptop. Like, that is how much I love. Like, this is totally in my, this isn't a top 10 list, but this card is in my top 10 of favorite art of all time. I just think it's beautiful. Let's just say that. Okay, cool. The next card, again, this was the second card that came to mind when I think of beautiful art, and that is Serra's Blessing. Oh my gosh. I run this card in Ladies. Yes, there are better things, but like, I don't think you guys understand. I just think this card is stunning. This is a Rebecca Guire art, and I just think it looks, I just think it's beautiful. Another thing I really love about this art is I actually like white bordered cards. Let me know if you like white bordered cards too. I am such an unpopular opinion, but I love the way they look. And I think this card especially, because there's so much white in it, I don't know, just how to explain it. Like, I just think it makes the card look really, like, much better. It's this really beautiful scene. It's like this mystical, like, fairy lady, I don't know, with like this deer, and there's like a dead, I think there's like a dead deer behind them. Yeah. But I just think this is like really, really glorious and very intricate, and just, I love the blues. I think with the blue, with like the snow and stuff on the ground, like, gosh, I love this. Okay, the next card is, Windwright Mage, and the female on this is the same one as, oh, what is it? She's blue and everyone loves her, and she's the artifact lady. I looked for it and I finally figured out it's the same art as Master Transmuter, which is I really like that art too, but something about Windwright Mage I just think is super awesome. I really wish I could run her in Ladies because I love her art so much, but I don't have enough artifacts to realistically make this card work. But oh my gosh, she's stunning. I love her like silver hair like flowing in like the wind, and like these bird things behind her, like whatever they are. Like, I love the colors in this, like the blue elements. I love that the night sky is like fading into like lighter blue, like the ombre effect. Like, oh my gosh, and she's just doing this cool pose, and she's wearing these sweet black clothes. Like, I just think this card looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I may or may not be cheating a little bit. Oh no, come back. Which I probably am cheating, because the art for this full art versus the not full art are very different. But Rampant Growth full art, this is one of those cards that I love, and I run this card because it's a great card in EDH, and I also just happen to love the full art art. I just think it's stunning. I have to say, like, I'm probably gonna switch out all my EDH decks to run this art because I just think it's like that glorious. This is a Teresa Nielsen art, which, like I said, I just tend to like every single thing that she does. I just think it's great. Steve Argyle, that's another artist that I really like, some Magic artist. But I mean, really, how could you just not want to run this card? Like, how could you run a regular Rampant Growth after witnessing the glorious art that is this card? Like, this landscape is just absolutely stunning. This card is definitely really simple, but I like it, and that is Gilded Lotus. I think this is a really pretty, like, foil card. Like, you know, you look at some cards and you're like, I kind of want that in foil because I feel like it's just, like, 3 times as pretty. I mean, foils make everything, like, 3 times as pretty, like, let's be honest here, but I don't know. I think the color scheme in this card is, like, really interesting. I like the blues with, like, the orange, and the background is just kind of like this iridescent-y, like, unicorn background is kind of what it reminds me of, if that makes sense. Yeah, I just think this card is, like, really, really pretty. I think a lot of, like, the Lotus, like, cards are just, like, really pretty in general. I just really like this card, and I like the background a lot. Okay, this is another one of, like, my all-time favorite cards, period. One of my favorite board wipes, and the art I love, is Akroma's Vengeance. The one that I'm pointing out is the art that I really like. I know this was from the vault, and it's a different type of art, and I do like that art too, but this one happens to be my favorite. I love there's, like, the guy's face, like, just splattered across. It reminds me of, like, you're playing Super Smash Bros. And, like, you die and, like, you know, your face, like, is across the screen, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just think this card, again, I love the concept of this card. I run it in, like, all of my EDH decks that run white, and I only strictly run this art because I just think it is so beautiful. Love the purple elements. Like, I love that her wings kind of, like, are kind of like lilac-y. They're, like, kind of white, but kind of like lilac, and I just love this card. Okay, funny, like I said, I tend to like female-driven magic art, but this one's got Jace on it, and that is a Dispel, and I really like this card. I tend to run it in, like, my sideboards a lot, in, like, my modern builds. If you ever look at my, if I ever do, like, a mock deck tech, and I have my sideboard, you tend to notice I always run, like, one of Dispel, because I just really like this card, and I also really appreciate the art. I love the whole blue elements. I like this art in particular that I'm gesturing to. I know there's a ton of other arts, but I really like the one on Jace. I did actually open up a foil one, which at the time was like $7 because it's just that beautiful. Like, that's the reason why the card was so expensive. And it's a card that's being, like, heavily used, but like I said, really like this card, really love this art, think it's very pretty. Okay, the next card is Yavimaya Enchantress. This is another card that, like, if I ever build, like, an enchantments deck, I'm just gonna put this card in here because it's pretty. Like, not because it's, like, the best card ever, but it's just really pretty. This is another Teresa Nielsen art, and oh my gosh, I love this. She's, like, Enchantress. She's just, like, chilling in the sun. She's holding, like, some flower or something, and there's a lot of, like, green tones in this card. And this is another card I should totally make my background because it's just so... I have Blair Waldorf as my background right now on my computer, which is super weird because normally I have magic art as my background, but right now it's, like, Blair Waldorf. Blair Waldorf's face from Gossip Girl. But I should totally make it, like, the background of one of these cards now that we're, like, talking about it. Which I think I'll make Yavimaya Enchantress because I just think this art is, like, very stunning. So, yeah, that is that card. The next card is Exotic Orchard. Really like this card. I run it in 5 color. I like the concept of this card. I think it's really sweet, and on top of that, I just love this, like, glorious, like, outside, like, scene. I just think this card is, like, really pretty, and I like the card for what it is as well. And the last card is another card that when I really think of art that I just love in the game, like, this is definitely on my top, like, 10 list, and that is Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts. I love this. I have a Korean Teysa, which is just, like, the coolest thing ever. I don't even remember where I got it from, but I have, like, Korean version of this card. It's like 50 cents, but I don't care. Like, it's Korean and it's awesome. And on top of that, she's just super sweet, like, her whole ability and everything. I love how she's just, like, chillin'. She's, like, got this staff. She's, like, do not mess with me because I will kill you. Like, she's super threatening. And I just really, I feel like a lot of people pay attention to the other Teysa for just what she does, but I've always just really loved her for the ability. For what she does, she just does, like, a ton of things. She's, like, a super sweet card, and on top of that, she just looks like a total badass. So yeah, guys, that is it. That is it for talking about... I think I'll make Teysa my background, actually. I think she was definitely my background at one point, because she's just so damn cool. Look at her. Like, oh, come on, she's like, do not mess with me. I dare you. that is it for talking about my favorite art. Like I said, I definitely will do parts 2 and whatnot of these because I have a lot of art that I really love. These are just some that like kind of immediately came to mind of art that I really enjoy. So that is it. I will talk to you guys in my next video on Thursday. Until then, see you then. The video off there, but I was about to make this my background, and then I clicked on an image and it says breakfast at Teysa's, and I just needed to like let you know that was beautiful, and whoever made that, I wholeheartedly appreciate you as a human being. That's great. I love it.